Hey everybody, welcome to Dad Challenge Podcast Live. I know that's 2 in 1 week. It's insane. So get the stash going here, everybody. So I'm just gonna wait till it populates a little bit more because every time I do these, it gets like 2,000 people, and then people are asking what's going on. So yeah, I mean, I know I live in the world of Reddit a little bit, and you guys don't really see what's going on over there, but we're gonna talk about it tonight because yesterday I posted the video about the tough conversation we had to have about the exploitation of children who are either terminal or ill online. And we're going to go over another video that was made about me by this creator called, what's her name? Where is it? I'm trying to find it. I'll find it in a second here. By Love Logan on TikTok. I'll find it for you again. But we're going to go through this now. Oh, slow chat? Yeah, I can put slow chat on. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to allow Logan and Love Logan, I guess. So a couple things I need to correct myself on too. Now, Love Logan is another person that made a video about me. And, you know, it's coming to stand up for Carrie and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I totally get it. And Love Logan, if you're listening, I will send you this link if you want to come on the show and have a debate with me about the about this question I'm going to ask. Now, I don't think that I'm always right about this. And I did say in my video yesterday that this is a gray area. It's not about Dr. D Does, everybody. This is about this conversation we're about to have right now is a really tough conversation that I've been holding off for a little while, but it's actually blowing up. And so we need to talk about it. I'm sorry. And the reason why it's hard to talk about is because these parents are going through some shit, right? These parents are going through hell and it sucks. I can even imagine, and I hope it never happens to anybody, myself included. Okay. I feel like people are like, this is going to take Josh down. And you know what? Let it be where it's going to, let the cards fall where they may. But I can't stand on my platform in the Dad Challenge podcast who literally day after day after day after day calls out child exploiters, but yet have leeway for other people who do the exact same thing because they might be doing it with a virtuous heart. Right? So, like, I understand that it's a tough conversation, and I don't think it's obviously without nuance. So we're going to get to it in a second, but I'm hoping that Love Logan, whatever her name is, comes in. Noelle P, I guess. Someone said I was coming after some girl named Noelle, and I think it's this girl, and that's not who I was coming after. Actually, the person I was going after was some like Warnock or something like that, Warnock Warriors or something like that. That's who I was going after, not Love Logan. And I didn't even, if you guys watched my video, did anybody watch my video yesterday on this topic with Carrie and Hayden's Hope? Do you guys think that I came after her? Did I pile on? Did I berate her? Was I snarky? Did I treat her badly? Right? I think I was pretty fair. And I honestly believe that we're at a crossroads, right? And I honestly think that we have to have this conversation too. I'm sorry, we can't just gloss over this because it's not convenient for people to talk about. I'm sorry, we're in a world where we're coming to a crossroads when it comes to child exploitation, and way more people are talking about it now than they've ever talked about it before. And so honestly, this is just one more step into that. And unfortunately, it's a conversation we have to have. Julia C. writes, as an adult with several physical health issues, I'm so thankful my mother didn't have the opportunity to put me everywhere online. I don't think if social media was around, she would have anyway. Now, I get what you're saying, and it's extremely fair, but we do have to have this conversation again. I'm respectful. I don't sugarcoat things. And yes, I can be absolutely mean to people who exploit children, but I was not mean to Carrie. And I honestly don't think that Carrie is doing an inflammatory version of exploitation. I don't think she's doing it to make money, and I think her intentions are pure, and I honestly believe that. So, and I thought I was fair too, because, you know, if you compare that to me talking about Dr. D Dozen or Jess Pham or Micah, I think I was fair. I think I can be respectful during serious conversation. I have, you know, every 1 in 10 videos I have a serious conversation. You were nice, she was dishonest, and then silenced you and tried to make it seem... No, Carrie did not silence me. The Reddit forum silenced me. So we're going to go there in a second. I'm just going to let go because I want to... Someone messaged Love Logan or Noelle Logan or what's her name? I don't know what her name is. I'm happy to have her on the show. Carrie, if you're watching this too, you are more than welcome to come on the show. You guys are allowed to... You can come and berate me if you want. You can call me an effing asshole, whatever you want to do. But we got to have the conversation. You don't have to come on the show either. You know, it's crazy. So I'll tell you what's been going on tonight. What kind of sparked this live. So on the TikTok gossip Reddit forum, someone wrote, how do we feel about the Dad Challenge doing an episode about Hayden's Hope? Okay. And there are currently right now 170 comments. No, they didn't ban me from Reddit. The Doherty Dozen forum banned me from responding to the post. Reddit did come from me, you know? And I'm saying, I had this conversation with someone today and just in this thread right now. If I'm not being, like, hated at some level from somewhere, I don't think I'm doing my job. I have a very harsh opinion about certain things. This is opinion that some people will be like, yeah, don't exploit children. Oh, but no, that one's okay. That one's fine. Don't come after that family. They're the good ones. Right? And I understand that. I do get that. Am I buffering? I hope not. And then the DD Reddit page tagged the mods. Yep. Okay, I'm just waiting for people to kind of show up here. Show them my thumbs. There you go. Thumbs. I'm an adoptive mom of children with FASD, willing to answer respectful questions about FASD, foster care and adoption, older children. Yeah. There's going to be a conversation we're going to have about Doherty Dozen and FASD, for sure. And Jay Jong, I get what you're saying here. I don't, like, some of them, yes, are haters. There are some people that are absolutely just crazy. You know, I find it kind of flattering that I have, like, a couple of crazy stands that are not stands, like haters that are like, they know more about me than like my wife does. It's crazy. Like they know every word I've ever said on every one of my videos. And they're like, look what he said here, but they refuse to show any proof. You know, people are like, oh, Josh went to the Canadian trucker convoy. He's a Nazi. Guys, and I said this in my video, I denounced the convoy once they started using children. I denounced it once politicians started talking about their platforms. We left. Okay? I am pro-vaccine. I am anti-mandate. So let's just leave it there. Okay? Clear that up for everybody. The poster, no, that's my podcast poster. That's what you see in my artwork. But yeah, it's Back to the Future. I secretly run a very large page and overall it's great, but I choose to change my online identity because of the haters. Yeah, exactly. You know, I have a thick skin. I fully expect the hate to come. I actually appreciate it. I know I don't say this a lot, but when people make videos about me, I don't get upset. I think to myself, good. I'm doing something here. I'm sparking a conversation. People have me on their lips. It's exactly what I want. Yes, I should stop biting my nails. I agree. I slept like a baby last night. I sleep really well, actually. I can sleep anywhere. Okay, so let's get 1,200 people in this chat. So here it is. All right. So on this post, people were upset about me coming after Carrie. And to some degree, I think, yeah, I did. Right? I did message her and I said, hey, look, just can you give your daughter some privacy, basically, in all intents and purposes. And you can't read my meaning through a text. And you can't read meanings through Reddit. People are just getting super upset. And I'm asking a couple of questions with respect. Thank you very much. Right? And so you can't really read intent. You can't read the inflection of my voice. So I decided I'm going to come on a live, and I told these people on this page, come on out. So that person, that's my super hater. Hi, how you doing? Hope your sock falls off in your shoe for the rest of your life. Okay, so let me get to it. So I did the video on Carrie, and Carrie and I had a back and forth. I asked Carrie today because she said she was leaving it alone. She made another video about it. Then Love Logan made a video about it. And then Carrie responded, like post it on her channel. So Carrie said she's done talking about it, but this is the third video she's done about it. Now that's fine. She's more than welcome to do it. It's her prerogative. But every time she says in the chat that she's done talking to me, she continues to talk to me. We have a long conversation. And in my opinion, it was a great conversation. We were both very respectful. It actually opened my eyes a little bit more and made me see that I honestly think that she is genuine in her intent. I honestly believe that, okay? I honestly do. Honestly, Lori, I don't think it's bringing her a lot of views. I don't think it is. I think this is not a conversation she wants to have out there. I really don't. So Carrie is Hayden's Hope on TikTok. It's a mom of a kid with Sanfilippo. In the link below this video, if you guys feel like you want to donate to Sanfilippo, please go ahead and do so. Any conversation I have about Carrie, Sanfilippo, Love, Logan, or all these people, any conversation that has to do with this type of topic, I will always donate every penny I make on these videos. And I can't donate to the other one. I got flagged on that other video, by the way. So I will not take any of this money and put it in my pocket. It's never going to happen. So anyway, so I did the video, and then obviously the Reddit people are getting upset with me, and they're like, how dare he, how dare he, how dare he? And I understand people are going to be upset. This is a polarizing topic. Of course it's a polarizing topic. At its core are sick children. At its core are children who are terminal. At its core have children with rare genetic diseases. Okay? These are really, really important things in our world. Things to be exposed, things that people should know about, and I understand that. I absolutely do. But all I'm asking for is a balanced conversation and maybe balanced content. The super chat money will all go to this same thing. The chat keeps track of it. Okay? So, but all I'm asking for is a balance here. Are we allowed to ask people this question? Okay, now this is the question, and I'm going to make a poll in my video, okay, just so we can be fair about it. Let's see if we can, how do I do that? Where do I go to get to my video? Sorry guys, bear with me. But here's the question. Oh, show chat replay. Oh wait, no, I'm in the wrong one. I'm stupid. Sorry, guys. Bear with me 1 second, please. Okay, here's the poll. Poll. Are you guys ready for this question? Does H, or now Logan, from these channels, I'll use these two for examples. Do these two children deserve privacy? That's the question I asked. That's it. There we go. Oops, no, I gotta take that option out. There, the poll is up. Now, I know a bunch of you guys are with me on this, and of course you're gonna say yes. But I actually want those people who say no to come have a conversation with me. Okay, I'm not gonna berate you. I just wanna know why you think it. And you might have an amazing explanation, and I expect that you do. Because there are already 3% people say that these kids don't deserve privacy. And I don't want you to look at that in a negative way. Okay, I want you to honestly answer me this question. Okay? Why? If you think that they don't deserve privacy, why? Because there's got to be some explanation why I'm being absolutely torn to shreds on Reddit about this topic, because I don't think that I'm wrong about this. Right? Some people might say that the way I approached her was wrong. I'll concede. Okay? Maybe I shouldn't have reached out in a private message the way I did. I don't think it was mean. She didn't read my intent clearly. Obviously, that's my fault. You can't read intent in a message. I didn't say it. I said for shame. I didn't say shame on you. I said for shame, which is an overall shameful thing. Right? So, did someone already say that they don't? Well, that's a very good point, Kimberly Clark. That's a very good point. Now, I know that this conversation is going to get heated up. It's going to get hotter. It really is. Because there is a massive community now that I've seen this and seen Logan. There's a massive community, especially on TikTok, of this. This is crazy. And I'm talking thousands, if not tens of thousands of creators are doing this. Being genuine doesn't redefine child exploitation. It's a very good point. But maybe it's... I'll get to that, Valerie, in a second. But maybe it's the exploitation is the word that they don't want to be attached to, right? And maybe I can be a little bit lighter when it comes to this topic by saying something different, right? Maybe it's not exploitation, but it's like, I'm trying to find a word that's nicer. Do you know what I mean? And maybe someone has a different word I can use when it comes to this side of this topic, right? I'll show you guys the video in a second of the Logan mom who did a video about me. I haven't even seen it yet, so we're going to watch it together. Now, one of the main arguments I made about this topic was it's important to show Sanfilippo disease because of the main genetic markers that happen to the children. So you can see it, and if you see that in your children, you're like, oh my God, I've seen that. And so that's really good that they're educating people on that. I think that is a net positive. That is an amazing thing, right? That is a good thing, and I said that in my video yesterday. I didn't say that was a bad thing. Right? That's an amazing thing. I think we can all agree on that. Thank you very much, Amanda. Okay? But where I have the problem where it gets a little bit sketchy or where I start to question is when you have 1,000 videos of your child on the internet. Right? I think that's a question we should be allowed to ask without being called ableist or misogynists or mommy haters or whatever they want to call me, right? I think I'm allowed to ask that question. I am stressed about this topic. I am. This is a topic I didn't want to talk about, but I was kind of forced to do it. I reached out to Carrie privately. Carrie made a live video on her TikTok to over 1.2 million subscribers. Then I got hate messages and a Reddit forum created about it. So, of course, I'm going to talk about it. So yeah, it's not, and I'm not nervous because I'm getting berated or getting shredded or whatever you guys want to call it. I'm stressed because this is a shitty topic. This is crappy. I need to slow down the chat a little bit more. I will. The people that said no or hate you, they know her. That's way, I think I see what you're saying, sort of, like they know her, they've been following her for a while. This is one of the perplexing things that I've seen over the 2.5 years I've been on YouTube and talking about child exploitation, okay? I have seen this multiple times. I'll say, hey, look, I'm about to talk about this family, what should I know, right? Could be any family. And I'll get a bunch of comments from people saying, no, not this family. This one is good. This is the one I like. So please don't talk about it. Right? But they're cool with me going hard after Alicia from Doherty doesn't, right? When in my mind, they're basically the same. Now, there are, obviously, it's a sliding scale of how douchebaggery these people are, right? Obviously, there's a sliding scale. You got Micah Stauffer did one of the most insane, gross things you could ever do to somebody. Okay? And there's a sliding scale about who does what. We can agree on that. But for all intents and purposes, that's a sliding scale on one side of the aisle at all times, right? If you put your children on the internet and they are your main source of content and income, and it's what brings people to the yard to watch, there is no other way to say this. You are exploiting your child. Right? And I said, and my mistake was saying that Carrie was the biggest one for Sanfilippo. It isn't. It's Noelle on this Logan Loves channel. She's got 3.3 million subscribers. She's got 115 million likes. And she follows 3,500. And her videos, the page is scrolling, and it doesn't stop scrolling. Y'all, why is no one talking about how a little girl in pediatric hospice is being filmed as she dies? And again, this is why this conversation stresses me out. Because I know that Carrie and her husband are probably, and their sister are going through so much. And unfortunately, this came up at this time. and it has to be a conversation we have to have. Thank you very much, Cindy Newberg. That's going to the San Filippo Foundation. I have a huge TV up here. That's why I'm looking up. Very good point, Sarah. It doesn't take 1,000 videos to create awareness. Now, and as I go through these people's videos, like even the titles can be considered clickbait, especially on Logan's page here. I'm not even going to show you them. I will show you her video. And I know that these people get a lot of hate in behind the scenes, and it probably doesn't help. It sucks for them, for sure. Right? But I'm sorry that this tough conversation has to happen, but that's the world we live in. Tough conversations have to take place sometimes. So, Hamburger, go watch my video yesterday in San Filippo. My whole front part of the video, the opening of the video, I literally talk about exactly what this disease is. It's a rare genetic disease, affects 1 in 70,000 births. Someone tried to tell me it was only 70,000 people who had it. No, it's 1 in 70,000 births that have it. It's basically Alzheimer's for children. Life expectancy between 10 and 20 years. It presents as thick eyebrows and mobility issues and all these types of bodily issues, as if, you know, an elderly person was going through the same thing. It's basically, reverse dementia. So it's very, very tough. It's craziness, and it's very rare. And so I understand why people want to bring awareness to it. But can I ask the question again? Can you bring awareness to this without looking like it's all of your content, right? Can you argue? Can I ask this question too? I mean, 3.3 million followers. It's a pretty big deal, right? Right? And that's a lot of people seeing this thing. But at what point do you have to say, like, well, I don't want to show this anymore? Oh my God, please, is this argument even necessary? Who are these delusional people telling themselves these family vloggers are actually doing something good? Now, Stella, these aren't family vloggers to a degree. They're more, it's a different category I'd put them in. It's children with either rare genetic diseases, it's children with autism, it's children with who are terminal, who have cancer, all these things. I think it's a different, it's not family vlogging where it's like, look at our day, we're going to go to the pumpkin patch and drink a pumpkin spice latte and wear this huge brimmed hat with a scarf and look at me, look at my ass while I clean this stove. It's not like that at all. It's very different, but it still involves minors who cannot give informed consent. To me, it's just turn into parents wearing their kids' illness like some badge of honor. Like, look what I deal with and live through, and such amazing parent for life in my kidney. Honestly, that's a harsh comment, but I can't disagree with you. I think part of this thing has to do with the likes and the subscribers. And as a person who's on YouTube with 150,000 subscribers, that feels really good. To know that you're not alone feels really good. To get comments to say you're amazing and incredible, that feels really good. You can't deny that. The dopamine hits you're going to get from all that stuff, right? Carrie posted that video, probably hoping, and did get tons of affirmations about what she's doing and saying, you're amazing. Don't listen to him. He's a jerk, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sorry, I'm reading comments as I go through my thoughts here. But it's got to be said, these people with massive platforms, it's really hard to square the genuineness with the growth of a massive platform, right? So, there's a comment I wanted to point out here. Riss says this. Stop filming children for exposure. It's gross. I think it's more about not exposure, but awareness is what they'll say, raising awareness. And I look, I'm going to push back a little bit because I do think to a degree when it comes to these crazy things, I mean, there is gray here, right? There is gray here. They are raising awareness to something that is very rare. My hang up is the amount, the volume of it. and the growth of the massive platforms and the linking of Venmos and here's my Amazon wish list and all that kind of stuff. You just got to ask. You should be able to ask a question without being hated for asking a question. And that's where we are this day. Where we live right now in this world is if you ask a question that is against someone's belief, you are now the enemy. I couldn't record my children dying and posting it. I mean, of course not. There was a lady on my comment yesterday. I think I pinned it. Let me see if I can find it. It was the most powerful comment I think I've ever received on any of my videos. And let me see if I pinned it properly. Let's see here. I don't see it here. Maybe they deleted it. But basically they just said that they did this. They posted their child dying. And looking back on it, they completely and utterly regret that they did that. And it was a really, really heartbreaking post. Maybe it's because I pinned it, they took it down, they didn't want the attention. But it was such an amazing comment, I had to pin it. It was so heartbreaking. So that was a crazy comment. Someone who actually did this, who went through the pain and hurt and everything that went down on it and regrets it. And I'm not saying these people will, and I hope they don't. If you guys want to contact me, you can reach Josh at the dadchallengepodcast.com. This is it. Lee Poussin Vengur. I think it starts with good intentions and then it morphs into a lifestyle. It's like, it's hard to go back when you've grown such a big platform, right? It's hard to say, well, I can't stop now. This social media is a very, very addictive world. It's like crack to people. Okay. When you start growing a platform and having a big voice, that's very addictive. Like, people are on the internet anyway, addicted to social media. Imagine you had a platform when you had a voice where when you wrote one thing, you'd get like 1,000 comments. You don't think that's addictive? I feel like a lot of these parents are using their child's illness or disabilities to get things they want, like a payday or a constant Christmas list that's always being filled by strangers. Maybe some are. Yeah. Example, fathering autism. Yep. That dickhole. Shelby. Logan's mom does have a video where she goes through his entire medical history book, all his meds, what he eats, his schedule. No one needs to know that except her and the person taking care of him. Now, this is an interesting comment because I agree with you. Now, if you want to expose this disease, why do you have his entire medical history book online, what meds he takes, what he eats? Because if the point is to bring awareness to the disease, you've done it. That's amazing. But now that the doctors know, and that, it was the hospital I exposed yesterday. There's all these hospitals have these websites about it now. This is a disease that is exposed now. If a doctor types in San Filippo and doesn't know what it is, all the doctor has to do is type into his little thing that they do, and they'll find it instantly. But I get what you're saying. Some doctors might not even ask that. And I understand that why you have to expose it on the internet. But I agree with you. Oversharing is a problem. Let me get to my poll there for a second. Now, I've got 4% in my poll right now after 993 votes that say no. So almost 1,000 votes, which means 4% of 1,000, which is what? 400, right? Yeah. 400 people say that these kids don't deserve privacy. Now, I'm not saying that to be angry or mean. But can one of these people that say that they don't deserve privacy, could you possibly give me an explanation? Please. Like, I would love to know your logic on it. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. I just want to know your logic. Four people, I'm stupid. 40. I'm dumb. Math, guys, you know me in math, okay? 40 people. Good. 40 is not that bad. In the case of Carrie, she said she needs to show the face as the features which are related to the disease. Well, she can use one picture to explain. Now, I did say that. I mean, even 10% of her content is about fine, right? My math is not math. I get that. But I mean, go look at their content and you guys honestly tell me that that's why they do that. They're like, well, I have to show you to you every single day for the last 3 or 4 years so that you can see what it is. Like, that excuse or logic only goes so far, where regular people with common sense like me and you would say, okay, but what about this question? The problem here in the Reddit thread, the problem with it all is that I asked a question and nobody wants to answer it. I don't like the whole awareness thing. I think doing it in a charitable way maintains the privacy of those children involved. That's fine. Don't need to know everything to support the cause. Agreed. Yeah, HIPAA's, I researched this. HIPAA is only for medical professionals. It has nothing to do with influencers or parents who can consent to putting anything they want out to the internet. Well, Pink Tree or Pink Rink DD, you absolutely have the floor right now. Say what you need to say. I'm not going to block you. Welcome to the echo chamber. Please write out your well thought out response to my question. Do these kids deserve privacy? And if you can answer that, I'll let you ask me anything. Okay? And I'll answer it for you. You answer that question for me. I can see a doctor dropping a patient whose life and treatment are broadcasted. Oh, man, that would be scared. If you have a big enough platform and that person wants to go on their platform and say, hey, this doctor dropped me, that could be scary. That's fine. Pink Ree, you have the floor. I'm waiting. Let's hear your answer. So let me get up to this Reddit thread real quick. So on TikTok Gossip, this Reddit thread now has 176 comments, and I'm sorting by new. So if I don't read the comments, I apologize. I'll get to them. Hopefully, if you have a question, just save it and I'll answer it in a second. If Pink Ree messages me, let me. I'll see if I can find it. Okay. So I understand. Let me see. Let's see. So this post, did she sell? Here she is. Thank you. Pink Ree DD says, I think there are bigger fish to fry here. Oh. You get so obsessed with one topic that brings you views, so you make more money on future videos, creating more stress for parents with a dying child's gross. Now, I asked you to answer a question, and you just deflected it. But you get mad at me for not answering questions. That makes a lot of sense. I get it. Please answer my question. Answer the question. Does this child deserve privacy? I'm waiting. Nobody be mean to Pink Tree, please, or whatever her name is. She has the floor. She gets to answer this question without being harassed. Okay? Okay, so I wrote this on the thing. I wrote this 2 hours ago and it was downvoted, okay? I said, DCP here, reading through and processing all these comments for sure. But I do have one honest question. Not asked with malice or ill intent whatsoever. But if other kids deserve privacy online, why is H not afforded the same privilege? Does she deserve privacy? This was 2 hours ago, everybody, on this very, very hot topic right now. And I was downvoted for it. Guess how many answers I received on my question? Guess how many answers? Everybody's got an opinion on this platform about me. But I asked the one question. I asked one question. Guess how many answers I got? Goose egg. I got no answers. 2 hours ago, but it's a pretty active thread about me and hating on me. But I asked the one question, and instead of answering, and I know people are reading it because I got downvoted, so I know they're reading it, okay? So exploiting a dying child is okay with this person. How about spending every moment with the child and forgetting everything and everything else while she's in this position? Some people would argue that she wants to document the whole thing for memories. So, oh, there's a response. Here we go. Sorry, I'm looking for it. All right. Anyone deserves privacy. I think you meant to say everyone. You ask polarizing questions thinking you're the smartest person in the room, but you act like these issues are strictly black and white, which is so dangerous because they're not. What about the exploitation of children is not black and white? So you are saying that she deserves privacy. So we're on the same page. Thank you. I've heard about this Dub Frost thing recently too. Yeah, I have heard. Sorry, I want to go back to that question. Or the answer, sorry, if I could find it again. Go up. Sorry, I want to read this again. Everyone deserves privacy. Pink Ree agrees with me. That's it. You didn't have to write the rest. And I agree with you. It is a polarizing question. But does that mean we're not allowed to ask it because it's polarizing? You brought me awareness just by doing this chat. Thank you. You're welcome, Jody. I appreciate you. This is a really good point right here. Good motives does not mean children are not being exploited. Thank you, Betty A. Wells. I appreciate you. Yes, she has contacted me since. Carrie has. People are so resistant to the truth being the truth instead of twisting a fact to make it a truth themselves. Here's the thing that really, really perplexes me too, that these people, they're on like these forums and snark threads against family vloggers. For all intents and purposes, they would agree with me that someone, say like Alicia, is really bad for what she does. They would consider that exploitation. They would say it's wrong and it's gross and everything else. And yeah, I agree. But then when it's someone that they're like, they can virtue signal off of, they're like, oh my God, this is it right here. Hear me out right here. This is what I was thinking about all day. This is gonna be a hard statement to say. Let me gather it in my brain. These, I believe, and I could be wrong, but I think partly the reason these channels grow so large, specifically the channels with kids who, like, let's say Jonathan Sokola Jolie, and kids who are trans, kids who have medical issues, who might be dying, cancer, whatever the case may be, whatever. Something that's kind of like polarizing to a degree. I honestly believe that people follow these and comment on them as a form of virtue signaling. As a form to say, like, I am in tune with this, and I need to comment on this so that you guys can all see that I'm virtuous in my beliefs. Does that make sense to you? Did I make that clear? Thank you, Life with Gigi. Part of me believes that even following things like Maya Knight and Dr. D Dozen, those people who know what they're doing is wrong, they want to stand with them as a form of like protest to say, you can't tell us what to do. I'm going to stand on this, and I think that I'm on the right side of history. I promise you guys. I promise you. If you believe that it's okay to exploit children, you are on the wrong side of history. You're absolutely on the wrong side of morality. I think this is kind of what I meant to say too, Crime Solver. Do you think the people who watch are actually empathizing, or is it a weird voyeuristic thing on viewers' part that is discussing referendum and say, I mean, I agree with you. I think to a degree that's not everybody. We can't say it's everybody watching it, but to a degree of, let's say, Love Logan's page that has 3.3 million subscribers, do you think there might be some people in there who are voyeuristic? Do you think there's some predators watching that content? If you knew that there were predators watching your content, how would that make you feel? Jennifer says, no, I comment on the children because I actually feel for them. I'm not defending the channels, but my heart... Jennifer, I believe you. I do believe that there is a sect of this population that has this big heart for this. I think that a lot of people following me have that same heart, right? You do honestly believe, you're like, I'm here, I feel sorry for you, and I want to give you thoughts and prayers. I do believe you. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I used to watch family channels, but then I found your channel and stopped watching because I realized I didn't want to support them anymore. Good for you. Honestly, amazing. Pink cousin, sorry, I missed it. She can write it again if she wants. Yes, Jeanette McCurdy's book should be required reading. It's a very, very good book. Please go read it, download it, whatever you got to do. Get it on Audible and listen to it in your drives. Yeah, I do. Again, there's gray, of course. I'm not saying it's black and white, but there, like I said yesterday, there's a black and white issue on this. The gray area is like exposing children for for the raising awareness. Does that make sense? Like some people will say, no, that's not even good enough. No, you shouldn't even use your child to raise awareness. It's not their responsibility to be the person raising awareness for something, considering they can't give consent. Where I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really harsh as a person to say, well, maybe there is some good in that. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean by gray area. Would you feel differently if her content was no. No. I think her not being a part of the Creators Fund on TikTok, which is true, does obviously open me up to be like, okay. But posting a Venmo, posting Amazon wish lists, and then admitting to me that she doesn't give all of the money to the foundation or whatever, which is fine. I'm glad she answered my question honestly. But there are people out there that honestly believe and come after me like she donates every penny and all this. It's not true. So I'm glad she, and even if she was part of the Creators Fund on TikTok, it doesn't pay you. It hardly pays you anything, by the way. It's not like YouTube money, guys, I promise you. Is it worse that Doherty doesn't knows what she's doing or wrong, or is it worse that she's posting that her kids are going to die? I think the intention matters. I think the intention from Carrie matters. The intention from Noelle matters. That can't be overlooked. I don't think that they're maliciously intending to make money or grow platforms malicious. The word malicious is very important here. Whereas I think Doherty Dozen is very, very, very calculated and malicious in what she does, and she exposes things badly about her children because she knows it's going to bring negative comments and boost her algorithm. I don't think that these moms are doing that. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that angry redhead. Child does not have the developed brain required to give informed consent. No child does. Oh, here's Pinktree. Sorry, guys. It's hard to comment and be seen since I can only message every so often with slow chat. I have Carol. Sorry. Pink's response. Here we go. Oh. And there's one thing I do have to comment about, like people are like, Josh, you block people on your channel. Yeah, we're YouTubers. That's what we do. Could you imagine that list of blocking that Doctor doesn't have? And I don't block everybody. But sometimes I'm sitting there and I don't even get to read all my comments anymore because there's so many and I just don't have time. I wish, but I don't have time. But sometimes you just get upset because you feel like it's going into the ether. Your message about exploitation is just like, because they're like, well, Josh, you make fun of moms, and so you're misogynist, right? Or you're such a disgusting pig, or whatever the case may be. And, you know, again, my content is not for everybody. I'm very polarizing. I can be mean, and I will never stop, okay? Because I call out the exploiters who do this. And I believe that people who do this maliciously with intent to make money off their children do not deserve people to be nice to them. Okay, I don't think that you deserve any people being nice to you. I feel like you don't deserve respect. Do you honestly believe that people who exploit their children for cash deserve respect? And why? Right? So yeah, sometimes I'll see somebody like going hard at me about Doherty Does, and they're like, oh, they're not doing this, they're not exploiting their children. I'm going to block your ass. Because if you stand up for the exploitation of children, you to me are vile and disgusting. Like, you think I'm vile and disgusting, sure, okay? But if you, okay, I make fun of people and you might consider that vile and disgusting, okay. But I think you're worse if you think that exploiting kids is okay. And you might have a different word for it. And I've yet to hear an argument to this day, 2.5 years later, that tells me why exploitation is okay. Why putting these kids' privacy on the internet without their informed consent, day after day after day after day, is okay. That's not gray. I'm sorry. I've yet to hear a cohesive argument from anybody yet. Because you know why? Because people with common sense know there is no argument. You cannot flesh that out. Children deserve privacy. Children deserve protection. Children deserve dignity. That is it. They are the people in our society that need the most protection because they are the most innocent and they don't know how to protect themselves. I get fired up about it. So yeah, if you're going to come and simp for family vloggers in my comment section, you deserve to be blocked. I don't block everybody. Sometimes I'll make fun of you, you know, because you're stupid, but you deserve it. Wait. She wouldn't be okay if her mother did what she's doing to her daughter to her. I mean, maybe. But, you know, if you asked these people that question, would you have, if this happened to you, would you have liked that? You know, they're going to say, yeah, it would have been great. You know, they're not going to say no. You can't ask people common sense questions that have, you know, this answer you're looking for, right? Because you know the answer to my question of, do children deserve privacy, is yes. It's a resounding yes. If I went to the street right now with a microphone and a camera and I asked 1,000 people, do children deserve privacy online? And then I asked them to answer the question honestly, what do you think they're going to say? Maybe I should do it. Maybe I should just pop down to Toronto with my microphone and my camera and ask people some questions. Because it's a common sense answer. And the answer is yes. And so when nobody can answer my question on Reddit, that tells me a lot. They'd prefer to just hate on me, which is great. But if you can't answer the question, you don't deserve to be in the conversation. As a teenager myself, I wouldn't want the world knowing my privacy and issues I deal with. Right, I agree with you. Thank you, Kaylee, as a teenager. I watch some vloggers of autism. The ones I choose don't really post the child much. The mom talk more about the feelings of the parent. Yeah, I think that's probably more valid, is to have these channels talk about their experiences with it, so that I think these moms and families, and it's generally women, let's be real, okay, who are watching these channels, I think they're engaging with the content most that helps them feel that what they're going through is okay. You know what I mean? Right? What they feel is okay. And so they're engaging with that content to say, okay, I'm going through that same thing and I feel your struggle, right? And that is valid. And that's what you should do. Nicole's Niche, thank you. Sending love from Colorado, you and your purpose rock. Thank you so much. As a teenager, I would feel very uncomfortable if my parents made me film every day. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, this is an ever-changing landscape, right? We're looking into you as a teenager. I have teenagers, and we're seeing all these teenagers starting to really, really come into their own really, really young because they're exposed to every bit of information in the world. But you're seeing a lot of teenagers now start waking up to this whole idea of like their social media and their digital footprint and everything else. That's really important. And people like you, crochet artists, are very rare, but thank you. I just think there's a lack of something with her. Like, while following TikTok trends, if my child was in hospice, I wouldn't be able to pick up a phone. I wouldn't care about anything but my child. Karen, it's such a great comment. And you landed on something there. You really did. Hear me out. If any of these creators who are trying to raise awareness to this disease or whatever the case may be, do any of them, and I'm not even going to go look because I'll be pissed if I find it, do any of them follow the trends? Where they dance and answer questions, or are they following the crazy trends? Because if they are, I don't think there's an excuse for that. Okay, I got a question. Say they were documenting the progress that child is gaining. House of Hughes, I've never heard of them. I mean, no, sorry. Guys, no. It comes down to privacy. It's so simple. If you have to ask the question, come back to the root. Does the kid get privacy? Did they give consent? Do they have the option? Do they have the option? If the answer is no, you've got your answer. Now, again, where it sits on a spectrum of like, if you're a family vlogger and you're cleaning your house and your kid runs by, I have zero problem with that. Right? Zero issues with that. When the child is the topic and is the content, is where I have a problem with that, right? I feel like I've said this a trillion times, but it needs to be said again. Someone said something, but did you need to see a child suffering over and over to learn, or could you see one video, then be told by the parent how the disease affects them and learn still? That is a good point. I will not argue with that point. Do you feel the children and their stories you see on children's charities asking for donations are being exploited? To a degree, yeah. I mean, that's a gray. And when I talk about Carrie or this Logan, whatever her name, I'll show her video in a minute. That's where I'm thinking, okay, there is some benefit to talking about these things, right? I didn't say there's no benefit. I said, yeah, I can understand why you'd want to show 1 or 2 videos raising awareness to this rare genetic condition. Let me be clear here. I'll state it right now so you can have it. Yeah, I think there's some benefit to that, right? Where I have a problem where everything changes is when it's all the content, when it's everything, right? When there's hundreds and hundreds of videos. At what point is it too much, right? So those children's charities doing that, how much do we know about those children? We might know about the disease. Maybe they'll give us a 10-second or a 30-second clip or a minute clip of their life. They're not being shared on the internet every single day of their life while they're laying in bed. They're not. There's a difference. Wanted to let you know that my 12-year-old has stopped watching her favorite family vlogger, Funnel Vision, because of you and your message. Hey, that's amazing, Amanda. Thank you so much. I love that. Smart kid you got there. Hope she doesn't watch my stuff, though. She's too young. You know what I mean? I've said this a million times, Miss A, you're correct. When a child brings home all the money and weight is put on them to provide for the family, it's not right. And we've gone through some messages on Reddit and stuff of these children who have felt that pressure, and it's dangerous. A child should never feel the pressure to bring money for their family or to do things for their family. Look, everybody, please read Jeanette McCurdy's book. The whole weight of her family and success and money was on her shoulders her whole life and almost killed her. Hannah Nash, as someone who has autism, I feel mixed. Wish we could show the struggles, but not exploit the kids. I would hate if someone showed my meltdowns and struggle, but wish people could also understand that these things happen. I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And that could happen. You just don't have to show it. I mean, maybe you can film it and blur out the face. You know what I mean? Is that a possibility? Possibly. Don't give the name out? Possibly. Like, how much do you know about these children? Their ages, their middle names? How much do you know? There is a way you could do these things and keep privacy for a child. Oh, my wife is on board for don't exploit children. I think we very much align in that. She doesn't watch my show, but she believes what I'm doing here is, Not all the time. Sometimes she'll listen to me say something. She's like, you shouldn't have said that. So I'll cut it. Good question. Do you want your doctor to publish your medical chart online? No. Nobody should have their personal medical issues posted on social media without consent. The issue here is that legally the parents can consent to that. And so it's just that now it's a matter of morality. Yeah, I've heard of this Chris Warnock one. We're going to talk about her. No. I think the child, specifically in these cases, probably does benefit, like gets better carrying materials like seatbelts and beds and all that kind of stuff. Sure, it's great. I think they do benefit from it. Yeah. I mean, I don't think these parents, especially on this side of this conversation, are like, you know, going dollar bill flinging it in Vegas. I don't think that's what they're doing at all. It's really not all about the money either. It's really about followers and power and dopamine hits from the comments that they get, and some of them, you know, virtue signaling on things and like being that I want to be the main voice in this thing and I like the power I have because of that. Yeah, this is it. It seems Reddit was mad you picked their favorite to cover because there are threads dedicated to other families like Dubfrost who do the same thing, just more greedy. Again, people focus on the money. It's really not about the money. I'm talking about privacy, everybody. Privacy. All that stuff does play. I'm asking you if this kid deserves privacy. I think Logan does have Sanfilippo. I don't know. I don't think you've been blocked. I see your comment. Yes, but someone with Sanfilippo will never be able to give consent. To an extent, it's important to share because it has done way more good than harm. They need to keep some things private. To an extent, it is important to share because it has done good. Agreed. But to what extent do you share is my question. Very good point. My neighbor created a social media page for her son with rare cancer specifically so she could update people all at once, which could be a private page, by the way. It is possible to use social media as a tool, but it is abused far too. Yeah, it's abused far too often. That's the thing. And then so people who probably have good intentions, who are doing it for good reasons, they get lumped in with everybody else too, right? That's a no-go for me. You know what I find odd, and this is a good comment. How many of us have had our moms post baby pictures or bad pictures on Facebook? How many of you have gotten mad at a friend for posting a picture of you that you thought made you look bad? Anybody? Or you're like, let me see that before you post it. How many have done that? How many have asked somebody to take a photo down that you didn't like or something like that? It's a question, right? These kids don't get to do that. They don't get to see the content and say, oh, I didn't like that one where you had your leg over my neck while you're putting soup in my tube. I didn't like that one. I didn't like that you put me in a bathtub. I didn't like that you know, my diaper was sagging down to the floor. I didn't like that, you know, you showed my temper tantrum. I didn't like that. They don't get to say that. You do. Right? These women on these channels, you know, they're beautiful, great, awesome. But, you know, they're primed and primped before they get on the camera. They look their best. They use filters. It cannot be overstated. You cannot overlook that, and you have to ask that question. If you have asked people not to post pictures of you or whatever the case may be, then I think we all have. That's a question. Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate you. I seriously told my kids that. They don't even let me keep their school pictures up when their friends go. Those pictures must be awesome. I mean, to a degree, some things can be like, you know, endearing, right? But I get it. You got to honor some people. Like, your kids deserve, I mean, I don't know how to say it. Kids deserve privacy if they want it, especially on the internet to millions of people. You guys are, I think a lot of us are forgetting too. And a lot of the people that come in after me are forgetting. These people are in front of millions of eyeballs. Millions. Answer the question. How many predators is it going to take for you to change your mind? If you knew somebody was getting off on a picture of your child, would it change your mind? Because the government would have to make rules about child exploitation, and the government won't. Hello, 100% children deserve their privacy. But Josh, you make money off advocating for these exploited children. Yes. Yes, I do. Do you guys think it's wrong that I make money on this platform? It's an honest question. I'm here to hear your answers. But before you answer it, know this. If I didn't grow, my voice wouldn't be as loud as it is. The message doesn't get out. If I have 5,000 subscribers versus 150,000, that many more people will see this expose that we're doing, or these videos that we do. Okay? And fortunately, or unfortunately, maybe in your case, the byproduct of growing on YouTube is making money. If you don't make YouTube money, because they take a huge cut of our money, by the way, they're not going to put you in the algorithm. If you make them money, they're like, hey, this guy makes us money. Put him out in the algorithm. Now, you have to say that about everybody who ever covers anything in the world about anything negative. Okay, if there's a murder, if there's any news about anything online, about anything breaking the law, whatever the case may be, all those people make money. It is a money-making thing. It makes people money, right? But I don't get to have a louder voice without having a bigger platform. With a bigger platform comes more money. It is the truth. Is it the only reason I do this? No. If this goes away tomorrow, and it could, I'm fine. Okay, the money's great. Puts my wife through school. We get to take my family on a vacation. It's amazing. But if it goes, I'm fully prepared for this to go away tomorrow. I will not, I'll be upset for sure, because I like this platform. I like this message I have, but I'll be fine. Okay, I have a real job. People think I don't have a job. I absolutely have a job, and I'm damn good at my job. I'm torn. I think what you're doing is something important, but I can also see how it may be hypocritical to make money. Again, okay. I disagree. We talk about lots of things on here. And so, and I've heard this argument over and over and over and over again. I'm re-exploiting these children. And it's such, I can't tell you how dumb it is. I don't get to talk about this if it's not on the internet, right? I mean, someone said this the other day. They said, hey, Josh, say this. And it was actually a good point. When you put things in a court of law, right? And thank you, Hannah. And you have to present your evidence in order for the jury to be swayed to make a judgment on the topic at hand, right? So I'm basically that. I'm presenting the evidence to you. You guys are the jury. That's it. That's sorry. It's just a byproduct of it. Why can't we show what support people need instead of 2 get attention, 4 autism adults have no support? What about the families who have no following? Agreed. But those families would say, well, we're raising awareness for those families and a rising tide lifts all ships. But I disagree, because there are a select few number of channels that absolutely rake in all of the followers and all the likes and all of that. So I do blur minors' faces for the most part. There are some videos that I haven't. A kid might pass by or whatever. It is what it is. I don't have to blur faces, everybody. I don't have to do it at all. I didn't put it on the internet. I just do it because I think it's important to do. And sometimes I don't get it all right all the time. Sometimes I miss one, or my editors will miss one, or whatever the case may be. So it sucks. But, I do. I try my best to blur all the faces. Yeah, if they stop exploiting, I wouldn't have anything to say. I agree. But, when everybody says something, hey, Josh, you're exploiting kids too. I love that comment. You know why? It's because at least we agree that exploitation is wrong. Yeah, I mean, yeah, my time, I consider my time valuable. So, yeah. Is law enforcement wrong for making money while exposing and catching criminals? No, I don't think anybody would say that's true. Yeah. Thank you, Purple Dot. Everybody who's in here, if you agree with this, please consider subscribing, liking this video. Well, I consider it an expose, less than I guess it is awareness for sure, because I make fun of people for raising awareness. Thanks, Will. Love you, bro. Faith Clemens. I think your message is right, but you aren't delivering it in a way that will make the best impact. You know, I can see that. I've heard that comment a lot. And I agree with you that the way that my snark or my anger or making fun of someone's thumbs or whatever might not always be received by everybody. And, you know, that's just, it's the reality of it. I'm like, I get it. I'm not going to please everybody. But of the people who talk about this topic, I have the loudest voice. And that's just because I don't know if I'm saying something right or wrong, or if it's provocative, or if I have, you know, maybe between the snark, I have something smart to say in there once or twice. I think that I'm pretty educated on this topic now. But you're right. To you, it might not make a big impact. But if I took a poll right now and I said, does what I do make an impact? I'm pretty sure that the poll would probably skew heavily in my favor. Thanks, my beavers. You rock. Yeah, I agree with you, Brenda. The money that you're seeing pop up in this chat is all going to the Sanfilippo Foundation. I appreciate that. I like that I can make people laugh. 612 Odin says, unfortunately for some today, the consent and privacy of children is irrelevant. My wife and I love what you do to bring attention to this topic. F the haters. You deserve the money for your work. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sweet hat, too. Someone says, do you think the sickos are watching DCP's blurred images of videos or the family vlogs of their eye candy of choice? I've heard this argument a couple times too, where they're like, you know, Josh is all the predators and Plutos are going to Josh's channel to find out what to watch. I promise you, they watched it well before I did. They documented the timestamps, they put it in little things, and they shared it with their community before I even came close to talking about it. Right? These predators are disgusting and they're smart. And I don't agree with you. You think predators come to watch me berate them about being a bunch of dickwagons? I don't think so. That is honestly, this is one of the stupidest pieces of logic I've ever heard in my life. I've also heard this logic. He just blurs them lightly so you can still tell who they are. You know how you can tell who they are? It's because you know that content with all your heart. You know it. That's the problem. Do you not see it? So many people are like, Josh, you got this thing wrong. You said that kid's name wrong, or you spelled it wrong, or that's not that kid, that's the other kid. Don't you get it? I shouldn't know it. Neither should you. We shouldn't know. So people who correct me on things, they're like, oh, I'm going to correct this guy. Oh, you're in for it now. I got him. He said something wrong. He said, oh, that's you don't even do your research, Josh. That's what they say to me. Guys, you shouldn't know that shit about these kids. Do you not get that? Let's keep going here, folks. Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. I used to think my night when her babies are cutest until I realized that you were saying how wrong it is. I mean, her babies are cute, though. Be real, but they are definitely being exploited. The part that I can't wrap my head around is, sure, raising awareness is great, but it's not any child's responsibility to raise the awareness. Their privacy should be compromised for someone else's gain. Now, that's that question I had. There's a person on the tracks at the top, or one at the bottom, and 5 at the top. You have to make the choice. Do you sacrifice the one person for the sake of the 5 people? In this scenario, you don't have a choice. You have to pull the lever. And these parents are choosing to save the 5 people and put their kid as the one the train runs over. And it is an enigma. It is a question. But they are choosing that path, by the way. And you can't argue with that. As a parent with a child with a disability has struggles and his privacy is so important. Children with disabilities are more of a target for bullying. Why would I put that out for him to be bullied more? I've also heard this argument that what I'm doing is ableist, or what they'll say is, you know, why should we hide these kids away into the shadows? They should be out there. That logic, it makes you sound really bad. If you say, well, why should they be hidden? That's ableist. Are you kidding? I'm not asking you to hide this thing. We're asking you to respect your kid's privacy. I can't believe the logic that comes out of these people's mouths sometimes. Oh yeah, my night's going. She hasn't grown really much since we started talking about her, but she's still there. Kids know when they're not being prioritized, even if you're raising awareness. It's at the expense of quality time with your child. Yeah, no, this is a really hard thing that you're saying right here, Sarah. Really, 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 you put yourself in this position. Your child is dying or has an illness or whatever the case may be. You're setting up a tripod before you, let's say, feed them. You're setting up a tripod with a camera on it before you do something for that child. Dr. D does this too. Family vloggers do this. You can't miss this, everybody. Before that TikTok happens, there has to be equipment set up. There has to be framing. There has to be, do I look good? All that shit is taken before the content is filmed. Imagine that you're doing these crazy things, but you have to film it first. Your first priority is to capture it on video. Is that a conversation we're allowed to have? Pink Rink McD. Yeah, I know, because you can spell. I feel like when it comes to your conversation with Jordan Cheyenne, you were kind and respectful, and because of that, you were hopefully able to educate her. And I don't know, because I haven't seen her content, but I'm pretty sure she took her kid out of her content. Am I right? Or mostly? I hope I'm right, because I hope she did get educated on that. I'm pretty sure she did. And I got so much hate for being respectful to that person. And I get it. People don't want it. It's so odd to me. Josh, you're such a hater. You hate people. You're misogynist. You hate women. You're such a prick. All this kind of stuff. You're a pig. All this. You're so bad. And then I bring someone on and I'm respectful to her. No, not like that. You're an asshole for being nice to that person. Can you believe that? Look, I got a thick skin. But sometimes the hypocrisy is astounding. It's astounding. Well, Glare, I give you permission to get rid of her. I'm not going to have that shit in here. Will's a mod. Boot her, buddy. This is honestly one of the best conversations I've ever had with anybody on this channel. And I appreciate you guys all being here. Even the ones who don't agree with me. Thank you. Thanks for being respectful. I hope I'm being respectful to you. Pink Dink can leave, though, if she's doing that shit. She had to obviously get down to there. So I want to point out another conversation I had. All right. I got to find it because it was really, really, really telling. See if I can find it. Oh, the person deleted it. Oh, of course they did. Ah, those jerks. Oh, I think you can actually go find Reddit. There's a Reddit thing where you can find the deleted comments. Undid it, it's called. Let me look it up here. Undid it. Where's the, I'm sorry, if I'm missing your comment, sorry guys, I'm looking for the comment. I gotta read this to you. It's one of the most important things. Oh, I don't know how to, shoot, that's not easy to use. I gotta find it though. Rev edit. I think it's Rev edit. Okay, here it is. Okay, let me find it. Here it is. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm missing it. Sorry if I'm missing your comment in chats. I'm finding it. Okay, here it is. The person. It's name Ella8. Yeah, she deleted it. So I agree. I didn't know about the syndrome and learned so much from her videos. The room she has for her daughter is so smart. Sometimes hard to watch when she hasn't slept for 24 hours. And I wrote, I hear you here for sure. That's why I talked about the crossroads. But can you answer me this question honestly? Does H deserve privacy? Not asked with ill intent or snark at all, by the way. Then the person writes back, the thing with Hayden's medical condition is the first symptoms you see is facial features. Children with SF have really thick eyebrows, coarse hair, blah, blah. This, we know all this stuff, right? Hayden is going to die young, point blank simple, but her being a poster child per se of this disease could help so many of the families, right? It's a good point. So I said, so to be clear, Hayden does not deserve privacy because of her condition. Again, not being snarky or snide. I just want you to clarify your position because this is the crossroads we're at. Then this is what this person said. Ready? You are being snarky and purposely taking things the wrong way. I never said that she does not deserve privacy because of her condition. You are a hateful person. I hope you never have to bury a child like so many of these parents of children with terminal illnesses. I am no longer going to respond to you because you're a misogynistic piece of shit. I said, so she does deserve privacy. I'm so confused. I didn't berate you or talk down to you in any way, but look what happened when you had to apply some sound logic to a very simple question. You are what's wrong with the world we live in today. Just be honest. That person, I asked a simple question, and because she didn't want to answer it, I'm a piece of shit. Do you see where we are in the world of debate right now? This is where we are. Agreed, Lorianne. Thanks. You can go back and read those comments. That's great. I think it's arguable that a con, like a pro or con, a con to raising awareness is it paints their illness more as a tragedy than a disability. I think it's dehumanizing to treat the child as a hopeless case. That's a hard, I'm not one. Yeah. Remember at its core, everybody, at the core of what we're talking about are little humans. These are little humans. Use this $10 to buy your haters some yapples. Grab a yapple. They attack you when you leave them speechless. Now, this is the thing I was saying to some people. I said, look, if I'm not being hated somewhere, some level, am I really doing my job? Right? If there are people who don't agree with me fervently on my topic but can't answer simple questions, am I doing my job? The fact that that threat exists means that I'm doing my job, as far as I'm aware. And I'm willing to go toe-to-toe with anybody. Any questions you have about this topic, okay? About this, if you can answer honestly, my question. She went off on a simple question that is heart-wrenching. Josh, you're standing up for all children's rights and privacy. Thank you. Yeah, we are. We are doing that. People cannot, I think is what you meant to say, have educated and respectful discussions on different topics than me. You're right. Kira OK Baby uploaded about her youngest 2-year-old having very severe hives all over and showed her whole body. Yeah, the red hair. Oh, I saw the red hair. Hannah would like a word. Know what I'm saying? Who's enjoying a White Claw right now? Be real. Abby, which video are you talking about? The one I did yesterday is the one we're talking about for this topic. I miss the days of peaceful and sometimes fiery conversations, sharing of different opinions and walking away smiling. Those days maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, you're right. That's gone. As a parent of special needs kids, you can bring awareness by sharing resources, how you feel, how you cope, without sharing specifics of your child. If you do, it's just for attention/exploitation, point blank. I think the big one here is maybe they don't intend to exploit, but you're right, I think, in my opinion, about the attention. You love the attention you're getting. How could you not if you have 1 million, 3 million subscribers? How could you say you don't love the attention? And if you're being honest with yourself, you'll say, I love the attention. I love the attention here. Or I wouldn't do it, right? The attention is what brings my message out. The attention is important. But if someone says, I don't do this for attention, you're lying. Okay? Takes this different type of person to be able to sit in front of a camera and do things. You do it for attention. It kind of sounds Munchausen-ish. They love the attention. Now, I think Munchausen syndrome by proxy is a little bit different because don't people with Munchausen syndrome by proxy create the problem and perpetuate the problem or falsify the problem? Because I don't think that these women and men who are in these channels are falsifying their children's illnesses. I don't think so. So I don't think it's Munchausen syndrome by proxy. I think there needs to be a different category that these types of parents are put into. We don't have a word or a syndrome for it yet because it's so new. But I think it's Munchausen-y. I just don't think it's the same, right? Yeah, Munchausen is when they make the medical issues. They perpetuate them or they make their kids sick. Yeah. Thank you, Mackenzie Perry. Appreciate you. Yeah, Trisha Paytas is some kind of something. Watch tomorrow's video. Let's see if I got flagged for it. All right, maybe I did. I have to check that. I didn't. Okay, you guys, you cannot wait to see tomorrow's video about Trisha Paytas. I promise you. Please stop making up curses or using really description ones. It's distracting, respectfully juvenile. You mean made up words like disgustoid and stuff like that? No, I'm going to keep doing that. I like it. If I get 1 million subs, I think I have to get a weird tattoo. I'm not sure which one it is, though. Yeah, should we watch it? You guys want to watch it together? I don't know if I wanted to, but yeah, maybe we will. Let me get some headphones. 158,000 views on that video, by the way. Okay, let me turn up the volume. Boom, boom. See if I can share it with you guys here. I'll be pausing and talking about this, just by the way. Okay, here's the video. Oh, let me just see if you guys can hear that. That's important too. I have to press this. Share the audio. Yes, okay. Oh, thank you, Gina. Oh, there he is. Thank you very much. Yapples. Yapples 2022. Okay, now I might not be able to answer your questions, so I'm going to play this video, okay? Hopefully you guys can hear this. It's pretty quiet.
A long video, but I hope you stay to watch. This is going to be kind of a long video, but I hope you stay to watch. And I'm doing this because of what happened to Carrie yesterday, Hayden's mom, with some podcast guy who made a video.
You know my name. Come on. You know my name. You guys, this is live snark. Just kidding.
About her. Apparently he goes after mommy bloggers. He accuses of exploitation. I'm not making this video because I'm going to defend why we do what we do, because I've done that before. And
can somebody link me the video where she defends what she does? I would love to hear that. Honestly, I don't want to I want to hear her defense. I'm honestly interested in the defense of this person. She's 3.3 million subscribers. I want to hear what her defense is of this, and not to snark on it, but I really am interested. Okay.
And I've been thorough with my reasoning, my why. So I'm not going to do that again. But I want to share my experience with you guys when Logan was diagnosed and why.
Something tells me she's already shared this experience more than once, probably more than 100 times. So this is exactly what Carrie did. She used me, which is fine, to say, let me tell you why I do what I do. This guy's an a-hole, but let's talk about it again. One more reason to talk about it again. I guarantee you this woman has said this exact phrase she's about to say 100 times.
I find it very important that families do share their journeys. Logan was diagnosed at 2 years old. I attribute that early diagnosis to him having the most amazing pediatrician, Dr. Spencer. I don't live there anymore, but if you're watching, I hope you know that you're such a big reason Logan is doing so well today.
Okay, that's awesome. Thanks, Dr. Logan. I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. But what she just said there is really important, right? So we talk about this argument that they use all the time, that I'm raising awareness and it's awesome. And I believe that they are. I believe that they are. I really do. Okay. But what she just said there is really important. Her kid was diagnosed from a young age by a doctor, not a TikToker, not an Instagram influencer, a doctor. Please don't miss it.
After Logan was diagnosed, we were told to take him home and love him, and that's all we could do. There was nothing to help him. We were given a pamphlet that really didn't tell us anything. I took him home that week, and I grieved his life. I grieved his future. I grieved my family's future. I grieved my future. I was 23 years old, and all I could think was, like, this is not supposed to be our life. And it was really hard. And then finally I snapped out of it after about a week, and I was like, this cannot be the answer. There has to be something to help him. So I got on the internet, and I couldn't find anything. There was nothing. There was some...
I have to ask a question. I know she's going through it and it sucks, right? I'm trying to be really respectful of her emotions here. But why are you going to the internet? Why are you not contacting the hospitals, the specialists? It's easy to pick up a phone or write an email. Can we please, I have to plead this to you in full screen. Can we please not normalize going to TikTokers and Instagram influencers for medical information about our children? Please. Right? I know what she's saying. She's like, it's so rare I had to go to TikTok. I have a really hard time with that. I do. Because the doctor was aware of what it was already. Are you telling me this doctor couldn't send you in a direction for more information, to just give you a pamphlet and said, that's it? I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I can't believe that. I have more faith in our medical system than that. I'm sorry.
Medical journals, there were some studies. They were all just pretty much saying the same thing. There was nothing, and nothing worked so far. And my kid was going to suffer, and he was going to die. And there was no guidance on how to take care of him. Nothing. But then I came across a blog from a mom who was sharing her journey, sharing her family's journey and her child's journey with Sanfilippo syndrome. And that was the first time since Logan was diagnosed that I felt any hope. It was the first time that I found guidance, that I saw that there is happiness in this life with Sanfilippo syndrome. And it gave me this strength that I couldn't find by myself. And I also found a community with finding that blog. Mm-hmm. And then I came across another blog of another Sanfilippo mom sharing their journey. Mm-hmm. And they were in the process.
I'm going to stop her there for a second. Don't miss it. I came across another one sharing their journey. They're sharing a kid's journey, right? I know they don't want to talk about this. They don't want to say it. But you're right. They're sharing their journey, and they're sharing this child's journey. Please, please don't miss that.
Process of going through the stem cell transplant. I had come across some write-up about the stem cell transplant before that, but all it said is it wasn't effective and wasn't considered a treatment, and that was it. But when I saw this blog and I started reading their experience and how it can help. It may not help with the neurological symptoms, but it can help with the physical symptoms. And that's the issue. When you look at the scientific journals and things, they don't consider it a treatment because it doesn't help with neurological issues. But why on earth wouldn't I want to make his quality of life better and help all these terrible physical symptoms? But I wouldn't have known that without coming across her blog, without her choosing to get on the internet and share their journey.
Now, if this was her in this chat, I would ask her this question. Would you have known that if she had posted, you know, 1 or 2 videos? Would you have known it if she didn't post her kid or just maybe 1 image? Right? Do you need 500 videos of that child to have gotten that information? She's right in a way where it's like, yeah, I'm so glad I found it. And she's right. And that's where I agree with her. Okay, that's, I guess. Where I have a problem is then the oversharing afterwards. The absolute incessant need to grow. Right? I would love to chat with you about special needs. I can offer you such insight from someone who is also against child exploitation. Well, that's what we're doing here. Chat it away. So let's do it.
I reached out to her. She got me in contact with the doctors at Duke. She changed our lives for the better. All because she decided to start a blog. Without these moms deciding to start these blogs and sharing their lives, their children, their experiences on the internet, I would have been so lost. My point is, there's so much good that comes from sharing our journey, our experiences, our children, our lives.
No, I'm going to stop you there. She just wanted to get that past you. I agreed with the first 2. There is so much benefit to sharing our journeys, our struggles, you know, this and that. Then she said our children. Don't miss it. No. Maybe to a degree, sure. But let's say your content is 10% about your child and specific things that you need to look out for when it comes to this rare genetic disorder. Okay? Fine. I'll be there with you. But you cannot just be like, well, then we're going to also share every moment of their day, every single day of their life. Because your child deserves privacy.
And I personally know that. I personally experienced that. And it's not about making a profit off of our children. It's about making real, good, tangible change. It's about making people's lives better through our advocacy, through our helping the scientific community by raising funds for clinical trials, treatments, and maybe one day a cure. Through our guidance, helping newly diagnosed family.
Agree.
Through sharing our children's faces.
There it is. You know, you can agree on all these things. You know, she's saying that, and she leaves that last one always at the end. Through sharing your children's faces, sure. Once or twice, sure. Agreed. But don't let it, I mean, she's being disingenuous here. No. I agree with her on all that stuff, the advocacy, to be a guide for parents who are new to this, all that stuff. But at what point is it like, okay, everybody who has this disease, start a TikTok channel. Let's talk about it. Right? Sorry, man. She just keeps trying to swing that by, and it's really pissing me off.
And getting these parents early diagnosis because they see these features making.
Oh, here we go again. For the love of God. Right. Yes. But if I could ask her this question, and I hope she can answer it someday, do you need to show that through 500 videos of your child? 500 or more or less, I don't know. Millions and millions and millions of eyeballs on your channel. Is that necessary?
Change through legislation, and we're going to continue doing that. I know it may be hard for some people to really empathize. It's almost impossible to actually put yourself in our shoes when you are not in this situation.
No, that's a bit gaslighty right there, what she just said there. I know it's hard for you guys to empathize. Now no, don't say that about people. We can absolutely empathize with you. Absolutely. And as she's saying right there, it's very clear. He doesn't empathize with us. He's a bad man because he's calling us out. We can absolutely empathize with you and agree with you on a lot of points. But what we cannot agree with, what we'll never meet in the middle on, is the exploitation of children. That was pretty gross for her to say that, actually.
And it is unimaginable. Just a message to Josh. You can sit.
I thought you didn't know my name. Okay.
In your studio with your mic and you can judge and you can have your opinions, and that's fine.
Thank you.
And make a profit off of your videos.
Thank you for your permission.
But we're going to keep making change. Real
good
change. And good change. This is going to be kind of
excellent. And you know what? I hope you do make real good change. I hope you guys cure this disease with all the exposure you do. I hope it's like eradicated within the next 2 years. I hope there's trillions of dollars donated to this cause to save every child that is suffering with this rare genetic disease. I truly, truly do. But your kid still deserves privacy. Your kid deserves dignity. Answer the question. Do you believe the same? Does your child deserve privacy? Again, disingenuous where she's like, oh, some podcast guy. Also, hey, Josh, I'm looking directly at you and your name that I know. Okay. Yes, thank you, Mackenzie. Appreciate you. I wish parents had to follow HIPAA, but by the way, thank you so much for shouting out nurses the other day in your video. I mean, yeah, my wife's a nurse. I found some stuff about nurses today that's going to piss. I'm not allowed to say it, though. So, yeah, let's take a deep breath after that, eh? How about that? That's a good one. Like, I understand what she's doing there, and I fully empathize with her. And I get that. She wants to use her platform. She's got 158,000 views on that video. I actually asked the question in those comments and have been left on nobody will answer my question. So the thing is that people get mad at me for this topics because they think I completely disagree with them. They think I'm throwing them under the bus or I'm berating them or I'm making fun of them. Do you guys see that? I'm not doing that at all. I'm just disagreeing on one fundamental point of what they're saying. Everything else I agree with. Yes, bring awareness. Absolutely. Raise money for the cause. Put it out there. Shout it from the rooftops. Get everybody on board. Absolutely. That's amazing. Good for you. But answer my question too. The thing is, Grace Logan Vlogs, who says, I see it, but they don't see it. They see it. They don't want to, though. Like, they see it, but they're like, I see it, but I don't see it. You know what I mean? They see it. You know that these people have moments in their life where they're like, yeah, I shouldn't have shared that thing. Or they sit awake at night and say, shit. There's probably so many people that think this is wrong. And there are. Shout out to the nurses, Kara. Exactly. Thank you. But I'm telling you, they know what they're doing. But what overcomes all that, the ability to weigh the pros and the cons for them to say, well, I got 3 million followers. I have this massive platform. And if I go to Love Logan's page here and I go to her link tree and I open it and I see the things about the same thing that Carrie has. Love Logan merch. Check out my nonprofit, Armed Forces Housing Advocate, Changing Spaces. She has a lot of foundations. She's got her P.O. box in her link tree. Okay. She's got her Instagram. She's got her TikTok. Every product listed is something Logan uses to make his life easier. We are not affiliated with these companies. We make no profit. We get no kickbacks from sharing the things we love with you, which is all the things that she has here, which is good for her. I love that. That's amazing. Incredible. Right? But I'm telling you guys, they know. They refuse to answer the question. If I were to ask anybody here who has children, Does your child deserve privacy? What are you going to say? You're going to say, of course my child deserves privacy. But if you ask any of these moms, Doherty Dozen, Carrie, Noelle, or whatever her name is, if I ask them face to face in an honest conversation, they would have to say, no, they don't. They have to say it. They don't deserve privacy. And if they say, yes, they do deserve privacy, then you've got some like inward things to look at and figure it out. She's not wrong about many doctors not caring or offering help after a rare diagnosis. It's reality for many families, unfortunately, us included. Yeah. And I don't disagree with you on that. I think, yeah. So, and that's why I say I agree with you. Bring all the awareness you can possibly absolutely bring, for sure. Absolutely do. I'll help you. I'll do that. Okay. Show the face. Sure. Absolutely. Show the eyebrows and show the features and talk and discuss the things that parents should look out for. Absolutely. Show it a little bit. Of course. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But chill at video 10 and don't do 700 more videos about it. Here we go. My favorite comment. If you hate these people so much, then why talk about them so much? I don't hate these people so much, especially these ones. I think some of the things they're doing is good. And I don't give them more views. You know that these people have, this one has 3 million followers. The other one has 1.2 million. Doherty Dozen has 5 million and 1 million YouTube. You think that I'm the one that's going to give them more views? Okay. It's almost like you're jealous or obsessed. Oh, you're Diane. Sweet, sweet summer child. You're dumb. When I was on the cancer ward, one time a camera crew came to do a story on a patient. I never felt so anxious, and I was an adult. Wow, that's crazy. Catherine Githens, thank you very much. I think we're also seeing an uptick in armchair FB doctors because of U.S. crappy healthcare. It's safer to ask your mommy group than risk $250. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Very good point. Because these people know a lot. The thing is that's very good about what these women are doing is that you can ask them a lot of questions. They already went through all the shit for you. They already went through all the crap. They already did all the research, the hundreds and thousands of hours of research to do it all. So yeah, good. That's amazing. But your child still deserves privacy. I believe my kiddos need and deserve their privacy 100%. I actually went to high school with someone you talk about on here. Oh, interesting. What happens when the child does pass? Will the viewers watch the mom do whatever, or will they stay even though they came originally for the child? I don't know. I don't want to know. Not too much longer. We've been going for an hour 43. I think I've got my point across. Thank you. I appreciate you, Danica. Well, I mean, that's fine. I don't expect you to watch all my content. I have over 750 videos. A lot of them are over an hour long. It's impossible to know everything I've said, except if you're that weird one that's on Reddit. So they know every word I've ever said, every facial movement I've ever made, every tick, everything. They know everything. It's crazy and it's quite scary, actually. But, you know, they assume this because they're dumb. If you're going to come at me and say I'm obsessed and all this stuff and I'm jealous, fine. But please answer my question. Is exploitation okay? Right? As soon as you ask this question, you know, are you obsessed and all this stuff? Yeah. Am I obsessed about stopping the exploitation of children? Yes. I'm obsessed with it. Absolutely, I'm obsessed with it. You happy? We got it? You guys going to take that, share it around? Cool. Yeah, this was gross. Remember the mom who was dancing while her newborn was ill in the hospital? There was a TikTok of a mom who was dancing with her dead child in a hospital. Thank you, Lattes with Luna. I appreciate you. Why don't you care, Frost Penguin 502? Why don't you care about the exploitation of children? It's probably a better question. Why do I care? Because I believe that children don't have a voice and are being exploited, and we should stand up for them. Ball's in your court. So, Frost Penguin, why don't you care about children being exploited? Smash the like button, everybody. That's what Kathleen is telling you to do. I have heard this story of Brittany Born Leach. I have. And again, one of the other reasons I waited so long to talk about this, because that's like, if she's exploiting that, okay, she lost a kid, and that's the worst thing that could ever happen to anybody. So I don't want to pile on to that kind of stuff. And I don't think I'm piling on here. I don't think I'm being rude. I don't think I'm being disrespectful. I'm just asking questions. And I think this conversation we need to have in society as we are right now. This was one of the tough ones, and it needs to be had. These parents are wasting their time with their kids, the saddest thing ever. And with that, I'm out. Okay. Congratulations on your free cancer thing. That's amazing. Thanks for being here. Huge Luna the Cat fan. Truly wish that certain individual that I know would stay more private along with another friend that knows her. Okay. Erica Zem says, define privacy, 1 video, 10 videos. What's the threshold? Are you the authority on how privacy is defined? No. You could take my opinion or not, but here's my opinion on children's privacy. How much do you know about the child? Okay. Is the child used to make money? Do we know the child's medical history? Have we seen the child in distress? Have we seen the child at a dentist visit? Have we seen the child have a meltdown? Have we seen them be injured on the way to the hospital? Have we seen the child being birthed from your birth canal? Okay? I mean, there is definitely a sliding scale. If you're a cleaning vlogger and your child runs in and says, hi, okay, no problem. I have no problem with that. There absolutely is a moment where you're like, okay, we know. I mean, this is such a silly question. Privacy is what the kid wants. Needs, wants, should have, right? It's getting to the point right now, anyway, where everybody's online is talking about specifically not putting your child online ever anyway. Any of your kids, no matter how famous or how small of a following you have. It is being told by many creators and Hollywood superstars and lawmakers and psychologists and everywhere else, stop posting your kids anyway, no matter what. Thanks for coming, Liz. I appreciate you. Sarah Bracker. Yep. This is one of those times where privacy is better defined by what it's not. Yes, and I argue it's a basic human right. See, Tanya, and this is all I'm saying. And as far as Noelle too, like go for it. Tell us about your struggles, share it all, the nitty gritty details of all of it, because there's a lot of people struggling with you and you are a voice for them and you're a community they can come to. Yes. Just post them less. Maybe that'll help. Because if you look at their content, if I go to her content, okay, and I look at the videos, she averages, there's one where she's going through leaves and it's like 66,000, right? And then if you go to a video of just the kid, it's 286,000. Just the kid in the thumbnail, 629,000. If it's her in the thumbnail, it's 168,000. If it's him in the thumbnail next to it, it's 352,000. Right? I mean, it definitely varies, but if you took a sampling of every single thumbnail in her video and then did a match of the numbers and did the math, I guarantee you the thumbnails where he's in it is probably 3 or 4 times more than the thumbnails with her in it. That's, I expect the heat and hate. Thank you for taking all the heat and hate for Josh. You're the best. That's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? I expect this, but I shouldn't have such a thin skin that it's going to like super offend me all the time, right? Sometimes I do get a little bit upset for, some people will make comments or whatever, and that's fine. I'm a human being, but I got a thick skin and I expect this, and I'm glad it happens because it means people have my name on their lips. That's a good thing, especially in this conversation. Someone needs to do the statistics on this to find if there's a significant difference. Yeah, it'd be interesting to go through their thumbnails, do the count, and then do the math. I'm not going to do it, though. I don't have time to do that shit. You are awesome, Jessica. Brittany Bourne Leach still grew her IG platform with that situation and now just links stuff. Did it while her most recent baby was in the hospital too. I know. I mean, yes, I know. But I mean, it's almost like, hasn't she suffered enough? You know what I mean? At that point, like, I don't know. It's so hard. So I waited so long to talk about this topic. I probably never would have. If Carrie would have just kept our conversation private, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Good point, CK. You will never regret keeping your privacy, but you can always end up wishing you had kept things private, especially with the internet, because as we all know, everybody say it together, bring it in. The internet is forever. Yeah, Cass says, imagine the parents switch places with the kid for a day. How embarrassing would they feel with all the info about them that was shared to strangers? It's interesting you say that because, like, you know, challenge them to that then. Say, hey, tell me every little bit of medical details about your life. I want to know everything that you've been through. I want to know what happened at your last pap smear. Tell me everything. You know, of course they wouldn't, and they shouldn't. But that's basically, that's it, right? They get to make that choice again, and I'll say this again for those who missed it. How many times have you asked somebody to remove a picture or say, oh, don't post that, it looks ugly, retake that photo, whatever? You have the options. These kids don't have the option to do that. I have things on the internet too that I wish wasn't out there. I got in a fight with a guy at a golf course once. That guy ended up being my drummer's, I think, father-in-law. It's crazy. Or a cousin or something. It was funny. It was a long time ago, but yeah, it's out there in the ether somewhere. I didn't really, it wasn't like a real fight. I just pushed him and he was drunk. So. I feel like the Doherty's going to end up like Johnny Kate +8, super hated by the world and even her kids. And I hope that her kids aren't. And the thing is that they are. And that's really, 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 really sad. And you know, these people who go through divorces, there's a channel out there, people keep wanting me to talk about this video where she's like, this is all a lie. Family vlogging is a big giant lie. This is what it's about. We know that. But it's, you know, who in the end suffers when these relationships break down and fail? Kids, the kids, right? The kids are used to make money. They're used as the platform. And then when shit hits the fan, the kids are the only ones who suffer. Mm-hmm. And we see it all unfold. You look at the OK Baby situation. That shit was so, like, I know we snark on Kira. But that shit's sad, man. Now she's like, what do you think of mommy's new boyfriend? On the internet, for everybody to see that. When we know what we know about what her and her boyfriend have done. You know, it's just, come on. No, Dr. Isn't. No, they will never speak to me. But I have a new source, by the way. Oh my God, there's a video coming on that source and what they know. The Doherty have no people who are loyal to them anymore. Let me just tell you that. I'll never understand why people want to put everything online. Nothing is just for you and the people in your life. I'll tell you why. And I think you guys would realize, if you guys ever posted something and people were just like, whoa, that's amazing, or you look beautiful today, or you got a bunch of comments you didn't expect, how did that make you feel? Right? When you get something that was like out of the ordinary, like, oh, thanks. Does that not make you feel warm and fuzzy? Well, these people, if you look at their videos, like the one that this one just did about me, right? Just a smattering of the comments are, this. I genuinely don't think it's exploitation if you're sharing education with other people. If it wasn't for your videos, I didn't know what SF was. I'd never heard of San Filippo. Representation matters. We need this community. Proud to call you ladies family. That comment, those comments make her feel awesome. Make her feel validated. Make her feel that what she's doing is right. That's why they do this. That's the dopamine. That's the payoff. The ching-ching. Not even the money, guys. The dopamine from being an influencer with power, right? When Carrie did her video, she knew that people were going to come after me, right? She's like, look, I'm going to expose this asshole. He's an asshole. Let's see what you can do now, John. You're like, you know, shook the tree or whatever. You woke the giant, whatever these people are saying. That feels good when you have something to say and people agree with you, right? And so that's why they do this. But not everybody likes that. But those who do like it, they love it. Slaves to the dopamine. Attention is addictive. Like that should be a t-shirt, Alex. Amazing. Slaves to the dopamine hits. Attention is addictive. Attention is addictive. Fame is addictive. But there's like this level. Like I would never want to be famous. I swear to God, I say this all the time. And never would I want to be like recognized in public. Never. Okay, ever. It's like my worst nightmare. Right? One or two here, like it's still, I'm awkward around people I've never met and that like know me and I don't know them. It's awkward. Okay. But there's a level I think where every super famous person would probably say, okay, there was that level I loved. And then it was like, I wish I could go back to that. I guarantee you every famous person who's like mega famous hates that they're mega famous. With San Filippo, it can be so helpful to the community to show your setup for when they do go days without sleeping or how you get sleep. Yeah? Sure, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And you can do that without oversharing your child. 100%. The fact that they took time to address your DM so publicly is a testament to their motive. Her platform felt threatened and she needed validation. Oh shit, Sarah, are you a lawyer or something? Are you like Gandhi's daughter? Can those guys have kids? Are they okay? But you, so far, every comment I've read from you today, yes, you look really young, like a teenager too. So you're very smart. This is a very good point. It's a testament to their motive. They needed the validation. They needed to say, hey guys, look, he's going to do this video about me. Please send me your validation on this. Shit, girl. Josh, is there an update on the girl Raquel? Raquel. Super young, way too exposed, bush like mother. Talk about Tiffany Raquel and Piper Raquel? Oh yeah, there's updates coming, I promise you. Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of famous people hate being famous. It felt very manipulative when she shared your private DM. Yep. I asked her on Reddit in our chat if I am able to share I'm going to see if she responded back to me. Let's see if she has. Inbox. Sorry if I'm missing your guys' chats here for a second. Okay. I asked her, do you give me permission to release this conversation? And she ghosted me. So she said in her video, I have receipts of our conversation. And I said, okay, that's great. Can I release the conversation? And then she didn't respond back to me. Yeah, but the thing is, she didn't have to share the DM. There was no damage. I didn't make any videos. I didn't say anything publicly about her whatsoever. And I wasn't going to. Look, I get all these messages all the time in my inbox, okay? If I get like 10 or 15 messages about some single person, I might respond to them and say, look, I'm getting a lot of messages about you. I've seen your content for 2 seconds. Just have a look at it, right? You know, I mean, I could be a dick about it, whatever. I might be able to be a little bit nicer, and maybe going forward, I'll be a lot nicer, okay? How about that? I can be a lot nicer, and I will be a lot nicer in the DMs. Sometimes it really just gets me, and I'm just like, I'm so sick of it sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, another one? Oh, here we go. I don't need these anymore. I don't know why these are on. And so sometimes I'm a little bit short, and I shouldn't be. Maybe that's it, right? But there's no damage control. Nobody knew I messaged her. Gus is your favorite dog. Look at him over there. That's how he sleeps. Oh, Gus. Gus. He's a good boy. He sleeps like that with his like feet up. Whatever happened to the young influencer? Bro? I think you talked about Ava Madgery. I haven't updated. I don't know. She's probably still on TikTok. Let's take a look. That story's crazy. It's called Ava Grace Unbanned. She has 300,000 subscribers. Yeah, this is her 5th account. She keeps getting banned from TikTok, so. The girl was literally almost murdered, and her parents are like, yeah, keep going on the internet. Great. It's definitely not a green screen. Sometimes it was, though, when I was in my RV. Oh, I appreciate you. I try to be respectful. Sometimes. You shouldn't apologize for what you believe in. You're protecting kids who don't have a voice. Yeah. I don't apologize for being that, for unapologetically thinking that exploitation is wrong. But, you know, I agree that maybe in DMs to people that I'm responding to, maybe if I be nicer, maybe they'll respond a little bit better, right? I agree. Have you ever looked into the Sakona Jolie? I have lots of videos on the Sakona Jolies. Those guys can kiss my white ass. The TikTok dude's having twins. The last message I sent to her was, hey, look, looks like everything's coming along. Great. Are you still standing that you're not going to show your kids? And she said, yes, she's not going to show her kids. So I was like, hey, congratulations. That's amazing. Good on you, mama. Yep. That's what she said. That was her last thing. But obviously I'm keeping my eye on it. But her platform has grown by over 400,000 subscribers since I first did the video. I don't think you're too mean at all. I think you're allowed to put your opinion in. I think what I'm trying to say here is, like, in DM, Carrie took that as a mean comment, and it obviously, it did, because I said for shame at the end of it, right? And so she's like, okay, she's up in arms, she's like in defensive mode, and I get that. Maybe if I would have said, hey, look, I've noticed a lot of people making comments and sending me your videos. Would you like to have a conversation about the dangers of posting or the privacy of your child? That might, catch more flies with honey, right? Or is it bees? Or I don't know what it is. You weren't respectful in your to my comment, and you completely misunderstood me. That's what's so upsetting. Yes. So yes, agree. Be nicer and less snippy. Slow down and read carefully. Okay. Will do, Amanda. Oh, I saw that video about Van Clan. I saw that, and I'm pissed. Yeah, you better believe I'll be talking about that. No, and maybe I won't, but maybe I will. Yes, I will always do videos. When I read your screenshot of your message to Carrie, to me it sounded like you were confused. Maybe that was just me. No, my message was like, it wasn't in anger, but she took it as an anger. I just said it. At the end, I'm like, when I say for shame, I'm like, for shame. Come on. I'm like thinking, come on, do better for your kids, protect your kids. But even that to some people would be like, F this guy. And I get that. Someone said that to me, I'd be like, okay. Sometimes it just depends what mood I'm in when I'm reading a message, right? I did see this post where he like lifted her up by her head or something. Like, it was like, oh my God, careful. Maya Knight had shared a video about how she wouldn't allow the girls on the internet. What? Where? Oh yeah, the Jenny Poppich thing. You guys have no idea. I cannot wait to talk about that a little bit more. Oh my God. Okay? Like, when I say oh my God, I'm like, oh my God. Probably worse than Daniel Cohn. Cats are all sleeping. It's like, what time is it? 11th. I gotta go to bed soon. Wifey's gotta get up early. Yeah, cats are sleeping. Admit it, everybody. Who goes to the grocery store, sees an apple, and says, "Yapple" in their head? Just admit it. You can admit it here. It's a safe space. We're in a safe place. Admit it. Yeah, the Santa Village is being set up. It's on my Instagram. You go take a look. I think it might have been a story that was... I'll put a new one up. It's good. It looks awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is a good point. There's so many content creators that have great ideas and advice for a whole host of issues, topics. And they don't include children. I'd say most don't, to be honest with you. Thanks. My beavers, you're awesome. It's going to end pretty soon. The live's going to end pretty soon, guys, I promise. Just answering the last questions. Stay tuned for this. I've got things. Everybody's calling them Yapple. Yapples, get your Yapples, everybody. Grab a Yapple. Now here's the debate. Is it grab a Yapple or is it grab an Yapple? Because she's saying apple. She's not saying Yapple, but it sounds like Yapple. So I think the correct term would be grab an Yapple. It even makes, do you know what I'm saying? But some people don't know it's because the way the word is now, it's grab a Yapple. So I don't know. Pretty sure I said Yapple out loud and my son is so confused. This is Twin Mama. You and my wife both agree that I should bring back Bible stories of swearing. And someday if I can find an editor to do all my editing, I will. I will. Julie and Camilla said they won't show their baby's face after it's born, and people are saying that that's the only reason they followed. Oh my God, what? I hope they responded to that with a big middle finger. I'm sorry, Josh, I was upset with you because she made it seem like you started a whole Reddit thread about her. I apologize. Oh, that's okay. I mean, thank you for saying that. I did not start the Reddit thread. Someone shared that because they hate me. And they're like, look what Josh did. They're like tattletaling. And then I did my video. Again, most things I say, I'm going to be like, hey, I can back this up. So thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, I've promised my extra 3D house to a friend. There it is. The McAllister residence. Isn't that sweet? The other one I printed is twice this size. That's why I'm doing the other one. So isn't that sweet though? It's primed right now. No, the snarkety thread was not made by me. By the way, everybody head over to Reddit, Dockety Snarkety. I didn't make that thread, but it's where I'm going to go from now on. I know who the mods are on the other thread, though. I like it. And I got a new 3D printer. That was printed on my old one. Now I have a new one. It's way better. It's not going to be worth it because it takes like 7 days to print them. And I'm not, that time. It'd be like $150 to sell that thing. So no, honestly, you can buy your own 3D printer for cheaper than it would be for me to sell this to you. And I will send you the 3D print. You can do it yourself. Thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate it. I will stand on this until I'm canceled. And it could be any day. Trisha Paytas has posted her baby 182 times in 56 days, not including lives or stories. Holy shit. But she doesn't like exploitation of children. I forgot. I know, it's a school night. I know. I get up at 8 on the button, and I'm on kid duty for, like, whenever Kathy has a shift at the hospital, I'm on dad duty in the morning. Whenever Kathy's home, we split it. And then one day a week, she lets me sleep in, right? So tomorrow, when I do duty, I got to say, this is going to float my boat here for a second. Whenever Kathy's on by herself, they're barely at the bus stop on time. I don't know what she does. But when I'm on dad duty in the morning, there's 10 minutes to spare. I'm on my phone, scrolling a little bit. The kids are watching their iPads, eating their Cheerios. Not going to lie, I'm better. What's a stash box? Like for this? What's that supposed to mean? Exactly. Can only be canceled if accepted. But no, YouTube can be like, bye, if they don't like you too, right? So. Oh, your Veterans Day's tomorrow. Oh, shoot. Tomorrow is November 11th. It's Veterans. It's not. It's ours is called Remembrance Day. So, but our kids aren't. They don't get a holiday here for that. Oh, thank you, Bailey. What about Shannon Rose? Oh, I'll always like. She'll come back for a Christmas snark or something for sure. No, and I don't want to. No thanks. Whose hair's done? Oh, yeah, no. Mom does hair better than me, that's for sure. Absolutely. Everly absolutely does not. I don't do the hair. You're right. I'll give you that. That's for sure. So here's my thing in the morning. Okay, wake up at 8. Kids, get dressed! And I yell it. And then they get dressed. Then I'm downstairs, get the lunch pails from their bags. I open it up and see what they didn't eat. It's usually the apple. Right? Westy went out for breakfast, and he'll say one of 3 things: Eggo waffles with no syrup, Cheerios, or floppy bacon. That's what he eats. One of those 3 every day. Okay, Everly, what do you want for breakfast? It's either chicken bacon, because she doesn't like real bacon. It's egg whites, or it's a bagel with cheese whiz. That's what she'll get. Or if there's Rice Krispies, either of them will eat Rice Krispies. Okay? And so then while they're eating, so I get their breakfast first, and I'll throw on, Westy likes chicken nugs in his lunch, or he likes macaroni cheese, or something like that. So I'll throw the nugs in the air fryer, so they're ready to go in 13 minutes. Okay? Everly likes either chicken bacon in her lunch. She'll have a miniature pizza, right? And I put that in the air fryer. Why am I telling you guys this? Whatever. Anyways, this is how it goes. And then for their snacks, they'll get Triscuits or some kind of cracker. They have a applesauce, a fruit bar. Those fruit to goes are so good. And then they'll have some kind of snack or some piece of fruit. So Westy likes strawberries or raspberries. Everly likes apples or grapes. So tomorrow it's grapes because I bought new grapes. And it's the grapes that taste like cotton candy, by the way. And they're really, really good. So lunches are made. We have these nice thermoses. So if they're having a hot lunch, like Everly's bacon will go in there, or pizza. And then Westy's chicken nugs go in there with his ketchup. Okay. And then they fill their water bottles, and they each get a juice box. Everly likes orange juice. Westy likes apple juice. Boom. Put it in their backpacks. The kids will get their things that they need to get in the morning. Recently, it's been this like, it's like you guys ever heard of like veggie greens? It's like a vegetable and fruit supplement, but it's for kids. So they get their vitamins, and I give them their veggie green supplements. They hate it, but they have to. They have to. Right? Because I don't think kids get enough vegetables. They're very picky eaters. So they get their supplements in the morning, they down it, they're good to go. Then we have about 10 minutes left to just chill. Meanwhile, I'll clean up, I'll recycle, I'll do some things while they're finishing up their breakfast. 8:40, shoes on, everybody. Boom, shoes on, coats on, out the door at the bus stop with Gus barking at everybody in the neighborhood. They get on, I talk to the neighbors at the bus stop who are really nice ladies. Gus meets with the other dog. We have some good old time. Gus barks more. Gus pees on things. We say bye to the kids. We get big hugs and kisses. Then I go home. Then sometimes I get to go to pickleball. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have a big, long job and I have to drive an hour and a half to like a house somewhere. Sometimes I don't. That's my morning, everybody. Luna's sleeping. I didn't hear about the nightclub murder in Saskatoon, but no, Saskatoon is nowhere near me. It's like 50 hours away from me. You reminded me of my dad and all he did for us growing up, and he's the best dad on earth. Good. Good dads are important, everybody. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I try to be the best dad for my kids, that's for sure. I didn't have a dad, and I didn't have someone who made my lunch, so I definitely overcompensate to a degree. Okay, you guys don't know the grapes that taste like cotton candy? They're at Costco. They're called cotton candy grapes. Yeah, Red Rock, you and I, best friends forever now. I've done a video on child actors, not child models. Is somebody angry? Yeah, present, and I think one of the things I try to tell everybody, if you're wondering, I think what makes a successful parent, it's presence, not presents like here's gifts, but your presence and your bond. Having a really, really strong bond with your children means that they trust you and they'll come to you with anything. And that's more important to me than like following rules or like making crazy rules or making boundaries or all these craziness that parents do. Like, don't do this. I would prefer my kid trust me. And so the bond is more like if they did something, like we bond on it, right? Gummy grapes. What? We all know those grapes are just, how do you know? I agree, though. They probably are. Will you talk about Jeanette McCurdy? I mean, I did the video on her book, and there's obviously nothing more to say. It was an amazing book, and she has an amazing story, and is a voice for a lot of these kids who are going through this, for sure. Yeah, don't forget to cut kids' grapes in half, especially, you know, kids under like 7 or 8, I think. It's probably the best. All right, everybody. It has been way too long. I got to get to bed. It's almost midnight. I have to have a shower. So thanks for coming and talking about this, guys. It was a very good, interesting conversation. It was one of the most important conversations I think we've had on this channel. Although I don't think any of these people who hate me and want to tear me to shreds are ever going to answer the question honestly. But I thank you for being here. And I think the final poll is 96% say kids deserve privacy. So I'm happy with those numbers. I really am. So thanks for being here, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow for the video. You don't want to miss tomorrow's video. It is a feel-good snark fest on Trisha Paytas, and then a feel-good, amazing story about the royalty family update with Pierre. You guys are going to want to watch it. I promise you, you're going to leave feeling all fuzzy and warm, and that's how we end this week, okay? Thanks for being here, everybody. You're amazing and valuable. Don't you forget it. Don't fly flare. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah.